Welcome, absolutely everyone, to Broke and Gaming. I am your co-host, Shea.
I am your other co-host, Dan. And hey, Shea, what have you been playing recently?
Well, Dan, it has been, I want to say 3 games that I haven't talked about before, although I probably have at some point. The first one I definitely have. The first one is Tape to Tape, which is the roguelike hockey game that has come up on the show before. It's been in beta for fucking forever, but they did just kind of drop a new, not a new mode, but like a new campaign where they'd like leaned into the roguelike shit a little bit more, and also the RPG elements as well. So basically in the original release, you played as one guy. You could pick like one other, I don't know, like hero player that you've played before. Basically better stats than a benchwarmer guy. And then you had 3 benchwarmers, right? And then that was the team that you had. And it was always Angus McShaggy and whoever you brought along for the ride. So in the new mode that they released, and I want to say it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago maybe that this came out. I, of course, can't remember what it's called, but basically you get to pick at the outset, and they are going to add more as they continue development. But you pick between like one of 3 teams, and basically it's like an archetype team, right? So the first team still has Angus McShaggy. That's the balanced team, right? Then you have the offense option and the defense option, and you have the ability to unlock different styles of team as you progress in that mode of the story. And in the original release campaign, you would occasionally be able to choose between like, you can go to this place or that place, and then the paths converge again on this team that you must play. But in this other mode, you get to kind of do more of a branching path, more in the style of like a Slay the Spire type of thing, where, you know, you pick this side and it locks you out of everything on the other side, but like you can kind of tailor your run to what is going to play to your team's strengths and weaknesses, right?
Okay.
So it's getting more fleshed out for sure. And I think that the new mode is a lot better for the game. It also is like really fresh for a game that's been in beta for a billion years to come out with like a new story mode that is, I think, better suited to the kind of game that it wants to be. I've played a couple runs of that. I'm liking it a little bit more than the original campaign, but I will be continuing to play that and come back to you with periodic updates as they do. I guess I have 4 games to talk about. So Apple Arcade has Stardew Valley. So I have been playing Stardew Valley on my iPad.
Is this your first run?
It is not. I have it somewhere and I can't find it on any of the systems that I own. I don't remember where I got it, but I did play Stardew Valley before. It might have been on mobile, to be honest with you, and then I was like, I'm not an iPad gamer, and deleted it. But I got it again, we'll say, and it is so relaxing to just play a game where it's like, just farm and have fun, and you don't have to worry about whether or not your goalie is shit when you're playing NHL. You can just meet villagers at your own pace and harvest your crops, or never talk to anybody if you don't want to, you know?
For real. I think on one of my runs, I just concerned myself with farming for the first full year. Like, I didn't go to, I was a full recluse. I didn't go to any of the festivals. I'm just like, I'm going to get all of these crops to the point where I'm basically sufficient by myself. I'm going to go to the cave. I'm going to do all those things. And then I'll worry about having a social life.
Yeah. Well, because your grandfather left you a dog shit farm, right? So theoretically, your first concern would be to rebuild the farm, right?
Right.
And then I'll think about settling down and getting married to a stranger, you know? For
sure.
Yeah, but I I've been playing like, I don't know, probably like 2 days of Stardew Valley every couple of real life days, and that's been extremely relaxing and a huge boon in my life.
Yeah.
But that game's great. I can't believe that dude has just kept up with like constant updates and maintenance and whatnot for, I don't know, 20 years. It feels like that guy's been developing this game.
No, not 20 years, but
not quite, but you know what I mean. It's
God,
been
I
like a
hope that's
long
not
fucking
true.
time.
Yeah, and all the while, like, still working on the next game, the Haunted Chocolate Factory game, which is the project he announced a couple years ago now that we've gotten little to know. He's got big Toby Fox energy, basically.
I was just about to say, all right, Toby Fox.
Yeah, for real.
Although it turns out that Toby Fox was not releasing Deltarune chapters because he was making a backdoor deal with Nintendo to be a fucking Switch 2 release title. Which fucking more power to you, you know?
Yeah, he was composing for Pokemon, so it's like we've already built this relationship out. Who cares?
I was gonna say he's just riding that Nintendo dick. Another game that I've been playing is
Cut it. Nah,
I'm clipping it, man. Riding that Nintendo dick is gonna be the new achievement whistle on the show.
Excellent.
Oh no, I've been playing Chrono Trigger. This is my first run with Chrono Trigger. I was honestly like not aware of it before. Like
really?
You talked about it on the show. Yeah, I mean, what they made Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross, and then they stopped making them, right? And that's like the big thing, is that the guy was like, "Hey, fucking buy Chrono Cross, and I'll make another one." And then everybody was basically like, "No."
I mean,
that's the most baller fucking
literally
move.
30-year-old game.
Yeah.
It's got, so there's so much to talk about here with this, but how are you feeling about it so far, like for your first run?
I'm getting used to it still. So I think when I talked about playing the original Final Fantasy VII, I was really annoyed because, listen, I'm a slow fucking reader in video games, right? I like to look other places while I think I'm in a menu because I'm of a generation that doesn't pay attention for very long. So, like, I don't love, like, picking my moves within a time frame and then just losing my turn. I understand why it's there, right? It's realistic. You know, if you spend too much time deciding whether or not you're going to do Cyclone, like, the snakes are going to get you, you know? But I don't like it in a video game because it's like, this is not reality. We've talked about that 1.5 billion times on the show. I'm not playing video games to be overly challenged. I am playing video games to enjoy my life and escape from the stresses of reality. So Chrono Trigger is not as punishing there because there is an option where you can be like, while you're picking techs and items, like the turn timer essentially stops, right? Yeah. So it's not as unforgiving as Final Fantasy, and so I can just kind of button mash and attack if I'm like out of magic points to do my tech moves. But it is an adjustment because it's just not how I'm used to playing video games. And I'm not very deep into it, but I'll tell you right now, like, the story is seeming a little bit thin to me. So I don't know.
It is
jury's out for me.
Slow burn.
Mm-hmm.
What characters have you added to your party so far?
I've got the inventor and the frog, and that's it. So I'm like early days for sure.
The frog has one of the maybe best story arcs of probably the best story arc in the game, but one of my favorite story arcs for an RPG. Period. Do
you have like in your brain just like your top 5 character story arcs?
I'm gonna get into one a little bit later, but for RPGs, there are ones that like touched me a little bit more than others, and Frog is definitely one of those. I would argue
What's like your number one all time?
Number one all time, I think I might talk about in a little bit.
Okay, sure.
I don't know if it's my number one. But it's definitely up there. Like, to be fair, like a lot of these are ones that I experienced when I was much younger. So like in revisiting them, like my opinions on that might change because it might be more shallow than what I remember it. And that's part of why I'm playing what I'm playing on my end this month. But yeah, Frog, I've revisited Chrono Trigger a couple times throughout the years. I joked with you before we started recording that this might be one of the games that I purchased for the most consoles over time. Like I definitely bought it for Game Boy Advance when it came out. I had the original for Super Nintendo. I've bought it for one of the I think I have it for PlayStation, probably. And I mean, it's got such a fucking pedigree behind it. Like, do you know anything about the development for this? Like, not to shortchange this or anything, but like, do you know who worked on this?
No. If you can give me 30 seconds on it.
Yes, I will do the shortest of short changes. So the three lead designers for this game are the creator of the Final Fantasy series, the creator of the Dragon Quest series, and Akira Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball, and also the art design for the Dragon Quest series. Like,
that does explain the opening video that they have on Chrono Trigger, because that's a Dragon Ball ass.
That's for sure.
Video, yeah.
Takashi Takeda is like one of the co-directors. He like went on to do like Parasite Eve, and he was the lead designer for Final Fantasy IV, which was like kind of the one that put the series on the map on a bigger scale. It's almost like at the time every like important RPG person was all working on this game at once. Sure.
RPG super group.
It's pretty great. It's a battle system unlike anything else at the time, where it wasn't just straight up turn-based whatever. Like there is a timing system to it, but having your positioning matter, especially when you start doing combos, like actually like makes a real difference as far as
that's been infuriating to me so far.
Especially because the battle arenas will change and like positioning of the enemies will change. You'll have ones that'll be static, like you'll be fighting something that'll always be in the north like block, and so some of your position based stuff like really does fuck with it. But like the cyclone move in general, like unless enemies are clustered, you're kind of only doing damage to one, which, you know, it's definitely different.
It's unique though. I'll say this: I've never relied on items as much as I have in this game. Healing options, few and far between. And also, like,
that gets better as you go along.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. But also, like, where I'm at now, if you like, and if I remember correctly, this was pretty typical of the time period. But like, if you leave a room, the enemies in there immediately respawn. Like, as soon as that particular space of the map goes off screen, they're back. So like, if you walk out of a door and then walk back in, you have to do that same fight again. And I fucking hate that shit, man. I fucking hate it.
It's only good because of the fact that this relies so heavily on
super grindy
levels.
Yeah. But what's like the in-game reason for that? Yeah.
None.
Like if I take a wrong turn in a castle, for example, I just have to fight 85 snakes again, and it's like I was already desperately trying to find a bed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, for sure. It's pretty brutal with that. Have you made it to the end of time area yet?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So that's where the story
I just went to the past. So
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you
I just found the frog. Yeah. I got to the first save point, like the little green star, and I was like, I got to take a break from this because it's starting to infuriate me, and I don't know that I can play this long enough to get to a second save point, you know?
Yeah. So I'll give you a couple pieces of insight if you do end up going forward with this.
Yeah.
This is the first game where there is an that I can recall, that there is a fully optional unlockable party member that they do not on its face tell you about.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I want to divulge too much more than that just yet. I have a feeling that you're going to love Robo. I have a feeling you're going to hate Ayla. I'm so excited to see how this pans out. So next month you'll have to update us, because I do think this is worth riding out for a little bit. But
yeah, sure.
Man, Robo fucking rules.
I'm assuming Robo is the robot from from the intro video.
I don't remember if he's in the intro video or not.
Well, there's certainly a robot in the intro video. So if there's a guy named Robo, I'm assuming it's him.
So you recruit Robo in the future. So that this is broken down into a couple different time periods. Like, you're going to go to ancient times where there are dinosaurs, because
why not?
Because you can't have a game.
Because I can tell you, I was gonna say, I can tell you, the Dragon Ball guy fucking loves dinosaurs.
Every fucking thing he touches has dinosaurs, for sure. I think I made that comment during Sandland, where it's like, yeah, of course there's fucking dinosaurs.
Yeah, because this dude is obsessed. Yeah.
Yeah, but Ayla is like a cave woman. You're gonna hate her.
Boy.
You're gonna hate the design. You're gonna hate the characterization. Everything about her. You're gonna fucking, you won't be able to stand it.
Yep. I can tell you who's riding the bench in this party.
Yeah, she's pretty strong too. It sucks.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, if I recall, and I'm a little bit fuzzy on this because I didn't use her much either. I think her healing thing is literally to like kiss you.
Ew.
Not ideal. Yeah, no, not ideal.
Yeah.
But keep us updated on that. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah. No, I got one more. That I've played probably the most, which is still not a lot because I've been doing a shit ton of editing this month.
Yeah.
And haven't really had a whole lot of time. Just kind of general exhaustion, to be honest with you. I'm sure you can relate, but
oh yeah, right now.
Yeah.
The amount of shoveling I've done in the past 2 weeks.
And I haven't had that.
Yeah, Borneo doesn't get a lot of snow, Shea. We know.
That's true. Yeah. But yeah, the game that I've spent probably the most. Oh, that's the American public school system for you. The game that
Borneo
I spent the most time with.
Go ahead and tag us in.
The game that I spent the most time with, and again, probably like maybe 6 hours. Grand Theft Auto 5.
Oh, interesting.
So, I was definitely more of a 4 and San Andreas fan.
Yeah.
And I was fine with that. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't need another one. And then they made it an online live service game, and I was just like, I don't need to get into that.
Which they're still supporting and still releasing content.
Right? Fucking crazy, right? Especially because 6 is coming out this year finally, you know? Which Todd Howard, looking at you.
We'll fucking see.
Yeah. I know. Delayed once already. But listen, I'll say this, not to compare the two, because I don't think Todd ever wants to release this game, but Grand Theft Auto has had 2 release dates now, and Elder Scrolls 6 has had 0. So,
that's fair. That's a fair criticism.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think Todd is waiting to get fired by Bethesda before they put out Elder Scrolls 6.
It'll never happen.
He's like, we haven't had a moment where I talk about hockey, but he is like an NHL general manager who's desperately staving off a rebuild of his team, because historically, though the GM that enters the rebuild is not the one that comes out of the rebuild. So he's signing all of these 32-year-old players to 5-year deals and desperately clinging to the past.
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress. No one fucking understands that.
I'm sure some
diversion I just made.
I don't, but I'm sure somebody does.
But anyway, I like I was saying, I entered into the Grand Theft Auto series at 4, and then played San Andreas, and then Vice City, and I was good with those games, and I didn't need another one, and especially I I'm not a huge fan of multiple protagonists, especially in like an open world game, like a sandbox game like GTA is set up to be, right?
Right.
It's, I don't want to say too much, but it's like, what would I play Trevor as, for example, versus how I would play Frankie versus how I would play the fucking third one's
Michael.
name.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael. Yeah. And I mean, they're not like super different as characters because I don't know if you know this or not, Dan, but character development not at the forefront of the GTA games.
No. The redemption is saved for the Red Deads. Like, okay. Franklin is arguably the most redeemable character overall.
Oh, I like Franklin a lot. The problem I have though is like he enters the game with like very defined goals and immediately is like, I'm actually not going to do any of that and just devolve into this life that I have been outspoken about avoiding.
Other two's business and
not even sucked in, right? Like he meets Trevor and immediately is like, I'm going to go fuck with this guy, even though I know that this is not what I want to do. You know what I mean? And like doesn't know Trevor at all.
Incident, like he's not a criminal, he's just a repo man. Like,
yeah,
he's trying to be on the straight and narrow, basically,
for a person who is a criminal, but he has not been. Yeah,
certainly a scam artist.
Oh, for sure, like, for sure.
Then he gets held at gunpoint by Michael for just doing his job, like actually doing his job.
Is that Michael? Wait, I thought that was Trevor.
No, because he
repos, no. Trevor's the guy that you play first. That's right. Sorry. He repos Michael's son's car. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, Danny Tamborelli of Pete and Pete fame. Who's like a faux juggalo type. It's the worst. It's the fucking worst. But yeah, so you get sucked into this world by, and immediately he's like, this guy seems to know his shit. He's got this nice house. Let's see what he has to offer. And then you have Trevor, who's just batshit insane. Like,
yeah.
The biggest problem I've always had with 5 specifically is that there is a unskippable, unavoidable, as far as they may have patched it out or at least given you the option, full-blown torture scene where you beat a person up in order to get information.
Mm-hmm.
Brutally. Like, you choose the means by which you torture this person. And then you just, like, take him to an airport, and you're like, all right, man, sorry about all that.
Go about your day. Yeah.
Goodbye. Yeah.
I don't know if that's
so fucking gross.
Yeah.
Like, it's a better story than 4, I think, in the long run. Like, just as far as the totality of the storytelling, I think it is better.
Sure.
But it's through it. Like, we both love Saints Row, the original set of Saints Row. It was aware enough of what they were doing where it didn't have to be. They didn't root it in the real world.
Yeah.
Whereas, for the most part, like, GTA games are kind of rooted in the real world. The FBI stuff, that's all, especially with, like, what's going on now in the world. Like, I have to kind of look at a bunch of that stuff through a different sort of lens. And, yeah. I debated briefly revisiting it just because it went up free for the millionth time. And it's a fun world to play around in, like, if you're not really concerning yourself with the actual story. I don't like the online component, but you know, it is fun to just drive around a near 1-to-1 Los Angeles.
Yeah. I think my issue so far with the game, and I like I said, I've only played about 6 hours, so that's like 4 story missions and digging around for a little bit.
Yeah.
The 3 protagonists seem to kind of boil down into the same character after a little bit. Like even like Franklin already is like, we're regressing. And unless we kind of come out of that again, like I don't really understand the point of putting those ideals into him in the first place. Especially because
argue
like
there's character growth for Michael and Franklin much more so than Trevor, but it's not all that meaningful. Like Michael is just like, family matters and I'm going to keep this family together no matter what. Like you can have Michael start going to therapy regularly,
as he should.
For sure. If only you could get Trevor to go. But like Franklin, it's more so just like becoming more comfortable with himself and the choices that he makes. Which that's the problem is I don't think he's becoming more comfortable with himself, and I'm not here to debate his character arc. It's long run, and I'm saying on its face it's not all that meaningful.
Well, so like it's not him as a person that he's becoming comfortable with. He's becoming comfortable with a lifestyle that he didn't want, didn't seek out, and chose for the flimsiest of reasons. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's not trying to be a person that steals shit for a rich white guy in the hills. You know what I mean? And he's like throwing himself onto this bed of nails as like an opportunist kind of a thing. And it's like, this is not at all what you want. I just don't understand like the reconciliation between what he states his goals are at the beginning of the game and where I'm at right now, And again, early on. So like,
have you ever completed? Is this your first time playing GTA 5?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I played 4, San Andreas, and Vice City, and then I was good on the series. I had Saints for the third.
I'm gonna give you something of a spoiler.
Mm-hmm.
Because it doesn't give the context as to why it happens this way, but Franklin is the only one of the 3 that no matter what the outcome of your playthrough will remain alive. Your endgame choices affect the other 2 potentially, but not Franklin. Like Franklin is the actual protagonist, like actual main protagonist, despite the fact that
he should be. He's of the 3. So far, he's the most interesting and I don't want to say nuanced because he's quickly become not nuanced, but
right.
Yeah.
Because Michael's problems can all be boiled down to just like anger and his terrible
needs to
family.
go to therapy. Yeah.
Trevor's just
psychotic.
An insane a psychotic drug addict. Franklin is the only one that like has from the start like redeemable qualities and can hypothetically overcome them, and that kind of is what leads you to what your final choice in the end game is. I won't say more than that because I do expect that you'll continue, maybe not finish it because it is kind of a slog at certain points, especially when you start getting into the actual heist scenarios.
Yeah,
all the planning around those and the prep, like it takes a really long fucking time. Like once you're fully engaged with Lester, who's an awful character. Yeah,
sure,
he sucks. But yeah. It's I do think San Andreas is probably my favorite in the series.
Overall.
For sure. San Andreas I think was great. I think CJ was a great character. I think especially if you're going to talk about real character growth and development, I think CJ's probably your best. Nico, somewhat. Somewhat.
Yeah.
Like he it's a sliding scale for sure.
Yeah, I'll play more of it, but it'll probably end up being me like just driving around doing side shit. You know what I mean? Just playing as Franklin forever and not finishing the story. That's how I foresee my engagement with that game. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been playing. Dan, what about you? What have you been playing this month?
played a couple things, a couple quick ones. So I played a game called Kit and I were sitting around like we were feeling puzzly, like we wanted to do something that was like pretty fast, and we ended up downloading this game called Exit 8, which is very simplistic puzzle game where you're just trying to escape essentially like a train terminal, a subway terminal. And it's you have to get through 8 levels of this hallway. In order to do that, you have to like spot anomalies that are going on in the hallway, and it's like things that are just like fuck with you. And then once you get to the 8th hallway, you have to like find the perfect one, and that's how you get out. Like, it's a game that if you know what you're looking for, could take all of 5 minutes, but some of them are so subtle that they're hard to spot, and then you basically start all over again.
Sure.
Pretty simple, cool game design, cool programming, and some of the stuff that they do is like, it's not a horror game per se, but there's definitely some like really freaky shit. Like, the scenario is like, it's a hallway. There's posters on your left. There's doors on your right. There's a guy walking towards you down the hallway, and that's it. But like, sometimes that guy that's walking past you will stare directly at you the whole time, which after repeatedly just having him walk past, not acknowledging you, is a little bit freaky. Like, it's fun. Good time waster.
Hey, you know what the resale on that is?
Cheap as fuck.
It's $4.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a download just as something to do. And if you have PlayStation Plus, I do believe it is free still. Worth checking out just as a time waster. I haven't quite finished Corekeeper yet, which I mentioned in our last episode as the reason I had to bail on Neo.
I mean, there were a few reasons, I think.
Oh yeah, that's yeah, for sure. I'm near the end game. I just got sidetracked. It's so hard to describe how huge this world is. There are a shit ton of like optional bosses that you can respawn manually, and like in order to get all of the different drops, you have to beat the bosses more than once. But now I'm like 2-hitting the first set of bosses, so I can just like repeatedly just like fly through them. I really, really enjoyed it. It's a very different experience because it's built like a cozy game a little bit, just in terms of like you can farm, you can raise cattle and whatever, but it all takes place within what like the mines are in say Stardew Valley. Like, so there's constant threats all the time. You have to fortify your base of operations, otherwise, you know, a giant mushroom with that just dashes at you can just tear down your entire fucking fort area. But I had sent you a picture after we recorded the last episode of just how big everything was, like in terms of the map. And from what I had sent you, I'm about 3 times bigger than that now.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a huge game.
That's pretty fucking big, yeah.
It's so large. Walking from one end to the other, and they like give you can like build a go-kart, you can build boats. There are fast travel points that you can build and install yourself. But just walking from one end to the other is astoundingly long. Yeah, it's so cool. Plus, like, everything is destroyable at a certain point. Like, they fucked up and gave me essentially like a missile launcher way too early. And so I got to these temples that are like labyrinthian, and I'm just like, no, we're going to make our own door, and we're just going to clear cut through this thing fully. Yeah. It also has like a very Minecrafty sort of crafting thing where like I can build electronic doors, pressure plates that like only I can access. Like, there's so much going on. Like, I feel like I barely scratched the surface on a lot of it, and so now I was just spinning my wheels a little bit before I get to what I think the end boss is, but it's kind of ill-defined. So still working on that. I played another cozy game just over the last couple of days that I think is actually causing me more anxiety than actual relaxation. It's called A Little to the Left. And it's one of those like organizing, like they advertise these for the phone all the time. This is like a fully fleshed out version of that. Have you ever seen those like organization games where it's like put everything in the silverware drawer in the correct spot? Like that kind of thing, or like arrange these books.
I have not, no.
Okay.
But I can imagine.
Yeah. So it's that, except after you beat certain stages, they're like, okay, that is one way to organize them. Can you think of a different way to organize them? And that's the part that stresses me the fuck out. Because sometimes you're arranging by like color. And that's easy. That like immediately jumps in my brain of like, okay, yes, this is a gradient. Dope. Got it. But the one level I actually had to look up, which I should never have to do in a game like this, it was a set of leaves. And I figured out 2 different ways to organize them. And then the last one was how many ridges are on each leaf. But it's pixel graphics, but not...
Yeah.
So, like, they're almost... Like, to just look at them, they're not different enough that would have jumped out to me. Like, it's...
Sure.
I don't know. Part of this is stressing me out. I'm still going to play it because it tickles my brain a little bit.
Sure.
There was a thing where there was like tools and I had to hang them on the wall and I had to arrange them exactly right to basically like puzzle pieces. That was very satisfying. I liked that. Played a game called Skate Story for a little bit. One of our members of our Delve-bound game, Will, has apparently been playing this as well, so I want to compare notes with Will on this. But I described this to you briefly. It is a game in which you are a demon trying to escape from hell. In order to do that, you went into contract with the devil to skateboard to the different moons in the different 7 layers of hell in order to eat said moons, and you turn to glass. So you're a very vulnerable skateboarder who's only capable of doing rudimentary tricks.
Doesn't hell like famously have nine layers?
Is it 9? I might have misquoted. Yes.
Okay. Well, 9 circles for sure, but I feel like the circles were meant to be layers. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, but it is 9, and I'm dumb. So I have to eat 9 moons. I have to go through and eat 9 moons in order to escape hell as a glass skateboarder. It is very artsy, very indie, very silly. The whole first layer, I'm just like dealing with philosophers just spitting nonsense. And they're just depicted as like floating busts of like Greek dudes. That's it. I'm on to the second layer. It's all skeletons. I don't know what the fuck's going on. It's silly and fun, and I don't know. It's very Devolver. Let me put it that way.
Sure. Yeah.
But the thing I've spent the most time on, we last recorded, has been also a classic Square game. I've been playing a bunch of Final Fantasy IX. The entire time you've known me, Shea, what has my icon been on my PlayStation profile?
I can't remember what they're called, but the guys that have eyes, a hat, and a big collar on a coat.
Yeah, so that's a very specific black mage named Vivi, who is one of the characters in Final Fantasy IX. And one of my favorite ever, if not my favorite ever, story arcs for an RPG character. I think I liked this game more than I'm realizing currently, and it all comes down to one specific thing, which I've spent a lot of time bitching about to anybody who knows about this game, because in a lot of the Square games, especially of that era, they just tacked on like a card game type thing.
Sure.
And this one's called Tetramaster, and it is fucking awful, Shea. It is so bad. Okay, quickly Google Tetramaster cards, and it's going to show on the card a 4-character thing. It'll be like a number, a letter, a number, a number. Sometimes there's letters where the numbers are, but it'll be those 4 things.
I'm not seeing what you're talking about here. Oh, wait. Okay. Nope. Got it.
All right.
This looks... Ugh. Okay.
Yeah. It's fine. So each one of the cards has this numerical pattern on it. Those are your power stats, your battle class stat, that's what the letter is, so it's either P for physical, M for magical, X for flexible, or A for assault.
Did you say X for flexible?
I don't want to get into it.
When there's...
I don't want to get into it.
Just when there's no other class
I don't want to get into
that
it.
starts with it. Just, okay.
I agree.
Hey, sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's
That's
Final
right.
Fantasy.
Then those next two numbers are your physical defense stat and your magical defense stat. Now, in the hypothetical, if I were to take one of my cards that is, say, 3M23, and I go up against something that is 0P00, I should automatically win that under every circumstance. My power is more than their defense in Magic. Should be whatever.
Well, yeah, that's how it works.
That's
in
right.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
So the problem is they added this entire like RNG thing to this where the stats matter but don't, and they don't give you the behind the scenes of like why you failed, but you can fail. So there's the battles thing is a 4x4 grid where you put your cards down, and if your arrow is pointing at a card, it attacks that card. Like you can have up to 8 arrows on the card in like north, south, east, west, and then diagonal. If there's no opposing arrow, you take it over automatically. If there is an opposing arrow, you would battle against that with your stats. But the problem I'm finding is that those stats don't matter anywhere near as much as they should. And it's not like if they had done a thing where like you roll a dice and then there's like multipliers attached to that or whatever, I'd be cool with that, because as much as that's still RNG, you're giving me a reason as to why that happened. They don't do that.
Sure, yeah.
It's just like,
why would
yeah,
they?
your level 5 attack against this defense 1 just lost, and get the fuck over it.
Right. Because we said so.
Because we said so. And the way this game works, you can only have 100 cards at a time.
Only 100, huh?
There are 100 different card types. So one of the minigame aspects of this is that you're supposed to collect one of every card, which also means you can't have duplicates of fucking anything toward the end of the game. And there are certain cards where you cannot get them again. Like they are missable. They're once per run to get some of them. And when you do these battles, if you lose one of those cards. Like the person you're playing against takes one of your cards. And that's fine, because then you can battle them again and win that card back. Like that one card goes into their hand, and on rematches, you can earn that card back. However, if it's a total loss where every card is like flipped in their favor, you lose all 5 of those cards, and only one of those cards then goes into their deck and you can like win back.
Yikes.
So on more than one occasion, I've had to reset my game, go back to the save file, because cards that were either extremely valuable or I wouldn't get back, I've just lost in a total loss because of this RNG nonsense. Like, it is not skill-based. It is all luck, and I hate it.
Yeah.
So I've more or less abandoned that whole quest line because I don't care. I'm pretty sure I have missed some things. And you know what's funny? I have the physical strategy guide for this game. I have the old Brady Games fucking thicker than it probably should be paper strategy guide. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I think I took it from my stepdad, if I'm being honest. You know what's funny about that, Shea?
What's that?
Because it's a Final Fantasy and they're long as fuck, they
There's
decided...
a part 2 of the strategy guide.
What's that? Well, both.
Sure.
They decided there was too much to publish, so on every page there is a code to go to the Play Online website. You enter that code, and then it gives you more information about the things that you're currently doing. But in the year of our Lord 2026, that shit is not up
still
anymore.
Up, right?
It is up. There's just nowhere to put those codes anymore. So if they're like, all right, so there are very missable items in this area, and it's very important that you get them now, because if you don't, you'll never get them. So please go to this website, enter this code, and we will tell you exactly how to get that. And not there anymore.
And fuck yourself.
Yeah. So
it is crazy to me, though, that site is still around at all.
It is almost exclusively dedicated to Final Fantasy 11 now, I think. Maybe 14 as well.
What?
There are still players. There are still players.
Oof.
Yeah, it's a website operated by Square Enix. I don't know if that was always the case.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because the strategy guide was made by Brady Games. But yeah, absolutely fucking useless. The other thing about this one specifically is, you know how, like, in RPGs, if you get an ability, it'll tell you what that ability does?
Sure.
Not so in Final Fantasy IX. You get your abilities...
Well, why would you want to know?
Yeah, right. You get your abilities from items, from equipment, right? Like, so you have to have a thing equipped for X amount of time. You build AP by doing battles. That fills up a meter. Once that it's the way that materia works a little bit, but it's just abilities. So like the different spells that you would cast, that's all learned through your equipment. Like you have to find a piece of equipment that matches with that character, and then have it equipped for the amount of time that it would fill that AP bar, and then they permanently have that, and that's cool. Except that with the abilities for each character, they don't bother to tell you what any of them do. So for Zidane, the main character, he's got this whole list of like different battle abilities that I would never know what they did if I were just playing this. And the strategy guide doesn't even really explain it that well. Like, it's better, but it's infuriating. Because it's not even like it's
so it sounds like you're having a great time with this game.
I'm having the best time. I'm on what would be the equivalent of disc 3 of 4. Because that
holy
used to be a
shit.
thing. Yeah. This was a 4-disc game back in the PS1 era.
Wow.
Bananas.
Well, 7 was 2 discs, right?
7 was 3.
Oh, that's right. That's why the re-releases are... There's 3 re-releases.
Yeah, I think that's right. And
remakes? What are we calling them?
Yeah. Reboots.
Remakes. Sure.
Yeah, I think that was 3. I think 8 was 4 and 9 was 4. And then I don't remember if 10
was 4 discs?
I think so.
Oof.
But there was also like a massive graphical upgrade between those two. I mean, between those two. Like,
that's true. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
And this has like full...
7 was Laura Croft hits for Cloud's hair.
Yes. That's correct. I would argue worse than that even.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
But like, the characters in 8 looked like people, not Legos. So, yeah. And then they went with like a very cartoony style for 9 before going hyper realistic for 10. Like 9 is an outlier in a whole bunch of ways. They went back to the medieval setting of the earlier games. Very little technology. Like it's at best steampunky. Like there's airships, but that's about the extent of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I do like it, and I do think Vivi's story is cool. I think Zidane is one of the worst main protagonists in the series' history.
Mm-hmm.
I think the choice to make the main love interest a 16-year-old is not good.
Bye-bye.
There's zero reason. There is zero reason they couldn't have made her 18.
How old is he?
He's like 14 or 15. But he's also like a different species of thing, which you don't find out until like way late in the game. So there's not really a good equivalency here. Look, if you're going to have romantic stuff in a game, just make them adults. There's no reason not to make them adults. I don't know what the fuck you're doing. And it's like, it's a Japanese game. So there's some stuff in there that like wouldn't necessarily fly in the same way that they just like sneak stuff into anime or just on its face have them in anime. This was one of my favorites. Yeah. And now from the perspective of a 40-year-old man, I'm like, oh no. Maybe no. Yeah. Vivi's still dope though. It's going to continue to be my icon on PlayStation. I don't know. I think, and we talked about this, we should revisit some Final Fantasy games at some point and kind of judge it by today's merit. But, maybe we'll talk about that more later. But for now, I think that's just about going to do it for us. As always, you can follow us on social media at Blue Sky. We are Broke N Gaming on there. We post custom artwork for every classic episode, as well as sales that you should be aware of that we call cheap codes.
If you'd like to share the show, you can do so with our hosting site, which is anchor.fm/bngpod. If you'd like to follow us on Twitch, where I have, into February, been streaming every other Sunday. You could do so over at twitch.tv/bngpodcast. And then if you want to catch those streams in the future, because I stream at a weird time on a Sunday, you could do so over at our YouTube, which is youtube.com/@brokengamingpodcast. All of the streams are up there, as well as every episode since the summer of 2022, ?
Yeah, ? Indeed. But you have been doing a very good job of streaming. I'm very proud of you.
I have the fucking dates. I don't know why I don't just look at them, but I think it's 2022. Anyway, that's where you can find them.
Yep. And if you want to send us an email for any reason, you can do so at brokengamingpod@gmail.com, where you can send us game suggestions or, tell us what the climate is like in Borneo. Hey, Shea, what are we playing next time?
Next time, Dan, we'll be playing a little game called Dishonored. So make sure you tune in for that.
It's one that we talked about doing for our AAA Summer Series, and we are finally revisiting it. So I'm looking forward to jumping back into that. I have some fond memories of this, but we've also decided that we're going to play them a little bit differently between the two of us. So make sure you tune in for that. But until then, goodbye, absolutely everyone.
Goodbye.